Tonight, the world rising up and saying no, do not slaughter the dolphins in the infamous Cove in Taiji, Japan. Do not repeat the bloodshed documented in the Oscar-winning documentary The Cove from Lionsgate Films.
By the time they get to the lagoon, they are totally freaked out, stressed out to the max.
God. God. The world rose up when movie star Hayden Panettiere crawled sobbing out of the bloody waters of Japan's Cove. And now America's ambassador to Japan, Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of the late President John F. Kennedy, is adding her voice, tweeting, quote, deeply concerned by the unhumanness of drive hunt dolphin killing. It's a huge deal for the ambassador of the United States to go out on a limb as Caroline Kennedy has done. Right on, Caroline. The clock is ticking right now. 250 innocent dolphins huddled, terrified, in these waters behind huge nets, cordoned off by Japanese fishermen who reportedly plan to slaughter them tomorrow. And this angelic albino dolphin, nicknamed Angel, has captured the hearts of people around the world. Outrage reaching a tipping point with tens of thousands signing petitions to stop the slaughter and boycott Japan. Our calls to the Japanese embassy were not answered. Japanese fishermen have reportedly selected dolphins to be sold to marine parks and aquariums. Marine parks and aquariums, and those not pretty enough for those marine parks and aquariums are marked with a slaughter mark, and they are killed. Rick O'Berry of the Dolphin Project, you were featured in the Cove movie. Oh, how? The world is rising up. It's supposed to happen tomorrow. Is Japan listening?
Well, I think they're going to start to listen now that Ambassador Kennedy has spoken out publicly. It's caused a lot of interest from the media in Japan. There's a lot of media in Taiji right now. So that was extremely helpful. We may be seeing a tipping point here because of this albino dolphin that was captured. And by the way, I looked at the footage of the capture. The dolphin's mother committed suicide. I know that sounds strong, but if you look at the footage, you'll see when the baby is taken away from the mother, she goes to the surface and she's hopping, looking around, completely freaked out, and then she takes a breath and sits to the bottom, and she's not seen again. And I've been saying that for years, that many of these dolphins in the Cove are committing suicide when they see what's going to happen to them. And they do that simply by not taking the next breath. Every breath that a dolphin takes is a conscious effort. And if they think life is too unbearable, they simply don't take the next breath. And I've seen that for the last 11 years in the Cove, and that's what happened to the albino's mother. Angel is the name of the albino, and the baby is at the Taiji Whale Museum in the tank right now.
Let me ask you this. How can we stop this slaughter? What can Americans do, Americans, caring people, to stop this?
Well, one of the most important things at this point is...
That's blood in the water, by the way. Go ahead.
Contact Ambassador Kennedy. You can find out her address by Google, and thank her for getting involved, because it'll encourage her to do more. She is in Tokyo. She is the ambassador. She can make waves, huge waves. So let's thank her for stepping up and being the voice for these dolphins.
Well, God bless her. I'm so glad that she went out on a limb, really, to do that and to make that statement. And I understood that they were not covering this in Japan because they just felt, well, it's traditional, we're not going to cover it. But now that she's commented, it's actually forcing Japanese news stations to cover this.
Exactly. I hope to meet with her back in Tokyo, and I can show her absolute that this is not traditional. It is not cultural. It actually started in 1969 in Japan, and that is not old enough to be tradition or culture. So when let me
jump in here and say Melissa Segal of Sea Shepherd is in Taiji. Melissa, very quickly, we're hearing reports that the dolphin slaughter could start tomorrow. What a horror. What's happening at the scene? We only have a couple of seconds.
I'm standing right here, and actually some of the pod was slaughtered today. We don't have an exact number, but all that's left is a blood-filled cove right now.
Oh my God! And are there protesters? I know you've risked your life. I've seen video of you being threatened and harassed. Look at the blood in the water. That's blood. 10 seconds, Melissa.
People need to stop visiting marine parks and supporting the captive industry because that needs to stop.
Yeah, that's the consumer, the people who go to marine parks. If you don't like this blood, don't visit those parks. Think about it.